G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to IL-2 Great Battles with Mags, and welcome to Flying Circus. It's been a while since I've had anything Flying Circus related up on the channel. Flying Circus is of course the World War I module based on Rise of Flight 777 Studios' previous flight simulation title. And today we have a early morning patrol near the town of Carvin. Now my flight's in the S.E.5a, and we've just engaged with a group of Fokker D.VIIs. Now there's a few notable differences between these aircraft, and I wish I had actually clued onto them a little bit earlier. I just wasn't thinking at the start of this engagement, as you'll see. But the Royal Aircraft Factory SE5, it's a 1917 aircraft, but it was one of the fastest aircraft of World War I. Top speed in level flight was roughly 220 to 230 kilometers per hour, depending on conditions, and it had an incredibly high climb rate, one of the highest sustained climb rates in the war. The D.VII, on the other hand, has a better sustained turn rate, and it's a much more rugged aircraft, and it'll generally take more of a pounding. And while it is slower, it's not by a huge amount. Depending on conditions, once again, 200 to 210 kilometers an hour in level flight. Now, the firepower on these two aircraft are rather interesting, because theoretically they're about equivalent. Both carry a 7mm range machine gun, so the Germans have two 7.92s firing through the prop with an interrupter gear, and the British also have two 7.7s. However, their guns aren't the same. There's a Vickers on an interrupter gear at 7.7 going through the nose, which you can see I'm using, and then above the wing there's a 7.7 Lewis gun. So the firepower is split in two directions. That being said, only having half the firepower pointing directly through the nose shouldn't be too much of an issue, providing I shoot straight and fly the aircraft correctly. And that's where I trip myself up, because I actually don't. I spend the first half of this engagement trying to turn flight with an aircraft that has superior turning capability, which is not something that I should have been doing. I do eventually clue onto it, but by then, well, you'll see. This fight doesn't end particularly well for me, just to be clear, but this was a hell of a lot of fun to fly, and I really wanted to put it up regardless. I want to actually get a lot more World War I stuff up. I've been really enjoying it. World War I and civilian aircraft I've been really getting into recently, so I'm going to have to put more of that up on the channel. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy. A little bit too much speed here. I love how much you can pivot on the rudder on these things. It's like dogfighting with stunt aircraft. It's great. Shit. That was not friendly either. It's becoming a bit of a parking lot up here at the moment. It's not on the 6. Yeah, he's just out turning me again. It helps if he straightens it up. There. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to spike you. I'm going to lose too much energy doing that. Yeah. Alright. Pick up some altitude. Shit. Alright, that worked. Lazy hammerhead over. That was tracer fire in the distance. Alright, so somebody on my side's still alive. Isn't working, you're just dancing around me. You're just really Something's beating me on this one. Alright. Gotta say, I'm loving the graphical updates. If only Rise of Flight looked this good. Still back there. We can get some altitude. Oh yeah, there you are. And there you are. Alright, so I've got two on me at the moment, and they're chasing, so we're going to go for the low one. Alright, just keep it. Yeah, alright, that's going to open up a gap. I got to separate those two. I wonder where the other one is. We need to find the other one. Shit! And ask and you will receive. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. I've got power drop. If he's turning to engage me, it means my wingmen are dead. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's blown his cooling system. Right, to be fair, I think he got mine as well. I tell you what I wouldn't give for a goddamn reflector sight in this thing, or just something better than what I've got here. Is he going in? Not yet. I don't think I'm going to make it out of this one. But I'm going to take him down with me, if I can. Back there. I'm not sure if some of those actually landed home or whether or not his system just got worse. Oh, that's a shoot. He bailed, and there he goes. Where is his buddies? Where are his buddies? And from my future self to my past self, the answer to that question is they were circling overhead like vultures, just waiting for me to die. Which I eventually did. As much as I managed to get my D.VII down, or one of them down, the victory still went to the other two. That hit that I took from the third aircraft that ripped up the side blew all the systems on my engine. I could feel the power loss in the aircraft almost straight away. And right as I was getting towards the end of that engagement with the D.VII, I could feel it getting worse. Trying to fly somewhere safe to land, but I didn't have time, and I messed up the emergency landing here a little bit as well. I let myself get a little bit too slow, and ended up stalling the wing, as you're about to see. So right before touchdown, which would have been fine in this location, I dropped the wing and went over. Now, I actually managed to survive that. Unfortunately, I'm on the Axis side of the border, so while I managed to survive the landing, I'm likely a prisoner of war now. But you can't win them all, and this was fun nonetheless. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. Expect to see more World War I aircraft, and as I said, possibly some civilian aircraft up on the channel very soon. And until next time, remember to click that like button if you did, share and subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, take care.